Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our virtual reading event for today. Today, we have with us Dr. Norma McLauchlin, who is going to be reading her book that she co-authored with her granddaughter, Haven, and it's called Haven, Please Forgive Me. Our co-sponsors for today are Alamance Achieves, Future Alamance, Allied Churches of Alamance County, Elena and Jane Books, Burnett Chapel Christian Church, the Kia Foundation, WNCC Western District Social Action Commission, Genesis Child Development Center, and This Woman's Words. Today's literacy resource highlight is Incredible Years, and we've talked to you about Incredible Years before, so we're going to talk to you about them again. Incredible Years offers information about parenting as well as learning activities, and all of their information and the contact person for them can be found on the Alamance Partnership for Children website, which I believe Adrian is dropping in the comments on Facebook. So if you have any questions, go to the Alamance Partnership for Children website and click on, I believe it's programs, and you will find Incredible Years. If you can't find it, please feel free to leave us a comment and we'll get you a direct link to it. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Norma McLauchlin. Dr. Norma McLauchlin is the founder and CEO of Chosen Pen Publishing. She's an international best-selling author and publisher and a certified master life coach who inspires women to embrace spiritual change and live more fulfilling lives. Speaking from the heart of her own experience as an author, coach, mentor, professor, and administrator, she has the unique ability to connect to women from all walks of life. Dr. McLauchlin has accepted the call to help women develop their self-esteem and self-worth through writing. Dr. McLauchlin's humility for God's word and his people is beyond reproach. As she organizes, guides, coordinates, and executes behind the scenes, one could categorize her as a profound minister, teacher, visionary, exhorter, and leader. Her spirit embraces the experiences, gifts, and talents in her local church, as well as surrounding communities that leave a breathtaking message of faithfulness, dedication, and commitment to the kingdom of God. And with that being said, I will now turn it over to Dr. Norma McLauchlin to read Haven, Please Forgive Me.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me. This is such an experience that I was hoping to share with my granddaughter, but she's not able to be with us today. But this is a book that hopefully you as an adult as well as a child should be able to take from. Haven and I learned from this, from Haven having experiences at school of some type of bullying or whatever, but we work through that by talking about forgiveness. So that's the purpose for this particular book. Haven, Please Forgive Me, by Haven McLauchlin and Norma McLauchlin. I'd like to read this dedication page because it touched to the heart of this book. I dedicate this book with great love to my family and to all those who experience unforgiveness in their lives. May this story encourage you to let unforgiveness stop you from offering forgiveness to others and to yourself. Haven. This book is dedicated to the children who do not know the meaning of forgiveness and how to practice it. It is my hope and desire that you learn to forgive. You will find the peace that forgiveness offers to all. Norma McLauchlin. So if we're ready, Haven, please forgive me. Mom, have you seen my favorite shirt? Haven called out as she stood in the middle of her room. The pink one with the cat wearing a bell. No, I haven't seen it lately, dear, Haven's mom replied. Maybe it's in the dirty hamper. Check in there. Haven's mother helped her look through the hamper, but the shirt wasn't there. Haven couldn't find her favorite shirt anywhere. Haven couldn't remember the last time she wore it, so she looked in her closet a final time. Has to be around here somewhere, Haven said. I'll go check Ivy's room. Maybe it's in there. Haven's sister Ivy watched as Haven turned Ivy's room upside down, looking for the shirt. Haven noticed that Ivy looked worried. Don't worry, I'll clean up the mess, Haven said to Ivy. But first, I have to find my favorite pink shirt with the cat wearing a bell. Ivy sadly put her head down. Haven, please forgive me, she said, but I wore your favorite shirt one day. You did? Where is it? Haven asked. I threw it in the trash, Ivy confessed. What? Why in the world would you do that? Haven asked. Because I got paint all over the cat. Ivy's eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry, Ivy said. Please don't be mad. Haven was mad. She was also sad. Mom, Haven screamed at the top of her lungs. What's wrong? The girl's mom asked. Ivy threw away my favorite shirt, Haven explained. But I said I was sorry, Ivy said. Haven could no longer hold back her tears. She cried as her mother comforted her. Haven, please forgive me, Ivy said for a second time. Haven ignored her sister and stormed off to her room. Can I come in? Haven's mother asked, entering Haven's room. Sure, Haven said. She lay across her bed, upset. Mom, I'm very sad and angry, Haven admitted. I know you're angry with Ivy, but it's just a shirt, honey, her mom said. She had no right to throw it away, Haven pouted. I understand how you feel, her mother said. Maybe we can find you a shirt just like it. No, thanks. It won't be the same, Haven said. I want the spelling bee wearing that shirt. I'll talk to Ivy about borrowing things without permission, her mother said. But there's a lesson. Both of you can learn from this. Haven was confused. What lesson can I learn? She asked. Ivy's the one who needs to learn not to touch other people's things. Ivy made a mistake. We all have made mistakes, and we all deserve forgiveness, Haven's mother explained. Forgiveness? Havens was still confused. Forgiveness is letting go of your angry feelings and trying to understand why others do what they do. Haven's mother kissed her on the forehead. You should try it with your sister. Haven thought for a moment. She decided forgiving Ivy was the best thing to do. She got out of her bed and went back to Ivy's room. I'm sorry. Ivy apologized again when Haven returned to her room. I forgive you, Haven said. Next time, ask if you can borrow my things, Haven said. I will, I promise. Relieved, Ivy hugged her sister. Haven was glad she decided to forgive Ivy. After all, it was just a shirt. And even though Haven loved that shirt, and she loved her sister more. Thank you. And we have some, that's the end. We have some author's notes that there's adults listening that we have at the end of the book and that you can go over with your children. And the first one is, have you ever been unable to find something that was important to you? What did you do to locate what was missing? Why do you think Haven wanted to find her shirt so badly? Have you ever thought you must have a particular item to be successful? Do you think an item can make a difference in how things turn out? Have you ever felt that your sibling wronged or betrayed you? How did you feel while you were upset with your sibling? How did you feel once you resolved the disagreement? Did you forgive them? Why or why not? Do you feel forgiveness is important? Thank you.
All right, so I am going to stop. I'm going to try to stop sharing your screen, but I don't think it will let me. Let's see here. All right, there we go. Okay, so first things first, we have comments on Facebook about how beautiful the illustrations are. So can you talk to us about who your illustrator was?
Oh, yes. Um, Albra Das, Abiradas. Okay.
And they did a beautiful job capturing those illustrations and really animating the book. So I also appreciated the illustrations, but that's one of the first things that people are commenting on Facebook.
Okay,
So
thank you.
to
Well,
mention that.
it's a difficult thing to get a good illustrator because there's a great cost to go to that, and you have to make decisions whether you want full color pages, if you want a little bit of print and a little few pictures. So this was Haven's first book, so I really wanted it to be all that it could be.
Okay, and so now I'm going to turn it over to Adrienne to ask the next questions.
Okay.
Number one, thank you for reading with us this morning. It is a beautiful book. The illustrations are great. And I love the message about forgiveness. And I got to call my own self out. Typically when I lose things or misplace things, it's always somebody else's fault first. So whatever. So that story really touched me in a special way. And you know how we overreact. So I guess what inspired you and Haven to write this story?
Well, I think the main thing is Haven is a short child. Who had really was, and the students always would call her baby or whatever, even though she's in our church private school. But she was always crying and not wanting to go out and play at recess because she didn't get chosen to do the whatevers. So we had to have this conversation about how most children who hurt children are hurting themselves. So let's talk about how you can go about helping those people who are helping you instead of just being responding by just losing your self-esteem. And so that's how we really started writing about the book. And of course the rhyming, which we all loved. Because based on that, because we had to come up with a story that we thought would be, and of course, at the time I was doing a whole study and doing a writing and doing a lot of summits and things on forgiveness. I do a forgiveness retreat and all of that. So that was really good for me to be able to take it to the level of children. And then talking with children, okay, let's try to do the lesson. The lesson is not so much that you are needing to forgive yourself, but you need to forgive others. But also not in forgiving them, you need to talk to them, become friends with them, and learn who you are, and become the best friends with them, because they're hurting as well. Usually, hurt children are hurting you because they hurt.
Absolutely. And that same thing goes for adults too. Hurt people. We say that a lot, but I think we don't really realize how big it is, because when you're a kid, sometimes you can identify the hurt, but when you're an adult, that hurt could come from so many different places. Right. And in a time such as this, and any time really, forgiveness really does have to be key, and you have to actually mean it when you say that you forgive someone. So I love that you brought that message home throughout the story. It's just beautiful. Are you guys working on some additional books?
Well, yes, we are. Haven is, well, right now she's doing a cookbook story about Gma's, but she's doing spaghetti. Well, we were going to do pie, but now she wants to do a little story about, because we always make spaghetti together. So she's doing that. But our big project that we're really working on is Haven becoming the superpower of love. And Haven is a superpower. She will have a cape, and she's going on 11, as she given to me, I'm too old to be a superpower. But her stories, again, approach different things in her life, I suppose, because one is, one of the stories that she's written is when one of the children, she comes upon children who are fighting, and she has her wand of love that she touches them with, and of course they become friends. And that's what the love part is, and just different little stories that she will. But hopefully then we'll be able to identify her as Haven, the superpower of love.
Oh my God, I love that. I cannot wait for that book to come out because we could all use a lot more love.
Yes, it is. It's exciting. As I say, we're trying to work it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, do you guys have a release date for that one yet, or a projected release
No,
date?
we don't have a release. I gotta get her. If we can get past COVID and homeschooling and all of that, then we might can get some other things accomplished.
Gotcha. No.
And get it illustrated. The story's ready. It's just got to get illustrated.
Yeah, it is sometimes difficult to find an illustrator to develop what it is that you envision
Right.
for your product. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so that's the biggest problem. And once you get past that, it's smooth. But she also has a coloring book, that's a matching coloring book that will be out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That goes with this Haven, Please Forgive Me, and a journal as well that will be coming out with that. And then she has her little fan page is Haven J's Growing Up is her fan page. And you should be able to order some t-shirts and masks and things from that within the next couple of days.
Okay, well, you'll have to let us know when that is, because I'm a sucker for a t-shirt. I encourage everyone to do a t-shirt. Can you tell us a little bit about your publishing company, Chosen Pen?
Chosen Pen is a publishing company I started, I guess, a few years ago, simply to help women, particularly, I mean, it can help anyone, to write their books. And I'm also a publisher, a master, I guess, writer, helper. But we start at idea inception and take the writer through starting their own business and monetization. So we do a little bit of everything. We have right now, my third anthology is out, which is Mothers. Let's see if I can get the title right. Mothers of Black Sons, Stories from Mothers of Black Sons. Mm-hmm. So we just published that. And we also published an anthology on forgiveness last year. So we have quite a few little things going on. We have quite a few authors that I help. But I said we help them from idea all the way through. And any other part of publishing that you like, we've done, most of the time we concentrate on making sure that you're a bestseller. Haven is a bestseller. And that's why she's a double time bestseller, because she did a story, a prayer, in another anthology last year. So that book was also a bestseller. And she's done a few other things, journals and things like that as well.
Beautiful. Haven has a bright future. Please tell Miss Haven, because I'm short too. Everybody knows I did not make the 5 foot club. I'm only 5 foot in heels or with a bun. That's it. That's as good as it gets. But
well, she and I think she's overcome that because she has so many other talents. And so, well, baby, somebody has to fill somebody's spot. Exactly. And if that's your spot to fill, then fill your spot. All of us are. I'm short. And I think I may reach the 5 foot club, but I've never had that issue because everybody in my family was short, so that wasn't a big problem. But when you're around others,
Yeah, just because you're short doesn't mean you can't reach great heights. So
right, and she does. I mean, she's really smart. She skipped kindergarten and all of that. So she's, I see you have so many other attributes or positive attributes that you don't have to worry about that.
Absolutely. All right, Sheree, I'll let you go ahead and take it over.
Okay, so first, I do want to say thank you, because I think I got so excited about the illustrations that I forgot to say thank you for reading.
Oh, you're so welcome.
I also want to make sure that everybody sees in the Facebook comments where we provided a link where you can order Haven, Please Forgive Me, but also the name of the publishing company, which is Chosen Pen Publishing, and you can like and follow it on Facebook.
Yes.
So if you would like to hear more about what Haven and Dr. McLauchlin are doing, make sure to go like their page. And I also needed to ask you what you feel like do you feel like forgiveness is one of the major things missing in the world? Or do you feel like COVID has affected forgiveness? How do you view forgiveness right now?
Right now, I think, and being a Christian, I think, a Christ follower, that forgiveness has taken a back seat to our thinking. We can look at that from the White House all the way down to things that have happened during COVID, because how can you say you love yourself, love your neighbor, love your fellow man, and then we're treating them in manners that we don't? And then if they do something to you, then where is the forgiveness piece so we can still walk in peace? Right now, my biggest thing and my biggest push, and we're trying to get a movement started, is for young men, especially young Black boys, to learn to forgive their fathers or their mothers or whoever they think has abandoned them in their life. Because I feel that if they can do that, if they can learn to forgive those people, then that would be a big hurdle to getting them to some force of peace and reducing the anger that they experience in their lives. Because I don't know if they really understand why they're so angry, why they're hurting each other, killing each other, or all these things that we're doing. But I believe that we could get them past, first of all, why is there anger? Why are you, with whom are you angry? Because all of these things don't happen just off the cuff. So if you're angry, let's talk about why you're angry. If it's, and most of the time it's abandonment for children or teenagers. Someone has left them, or they feel like someone has left them or something. If we can get past that, okay, well, there's nothing we can do about that now, but we can forgive those people who we feel that have harmed us or hurt us or abandoned us or whatever that is, and get past that to move back to love. You don't have to see them again. You don't have to talk to them again. You don't have any of those things, but you can still forgive them and move on in peace and love. And that will free you up. And if you go on to love, then you won't be trying to kill somebody. You won't be hitting anybody. You won't be beating on women. You won't be doing all those things, because love will take the place of that pain. Or we call that bitter root. We can kind of get it out.
So I appreciate how you combine love, forgiveness, and peace, because I do think that a lot of times, especially in the church, we are taught about them separately, and we don't look at how they feed one another and how they're a cycle. And when one of them is missing, it feeds the lack of the others. So I really appreciate you bringing that full circle. And I think that having books like, Haven Having a Love Wand and having books about forgiveness really helps drive those points home too, because we have kids that are going to interact with people that are not just in their household, not raised like them, and that may do things differently to them that are harmful, and they may not, know how to navigate those systems.
Right.
It's important that those points be brought home for our youth. Another question that I have for you is, what led you to start your publishing company?
I started my publishing company based on the Holy Spirit telling me I had to do so. Not that I had intended to do so. My story with that is, I had retired from working in secular at the university here, but I was teaching Bible study. I was writing Bible studies and just doing whatever I wanted to do. But in teaching Bible study, and I guess it was probably on forgiveness, or because I teach on forgiveness and several other aspects, especially on self-esteem for women. And one day when I was there teaching, the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, you need to have these women write their stories, or you need to help people write their stories. And I'm going, well, I'm retired now, Holy Spirit, I don't intend to do any of that. Plus, I don't plan on learning how to do any of that. That's not, I have written that, and of course you published in doctoral school and all of that, but I said, but anyway, having said all that, of course, I ended up, after talking to him, I'm still standing there, I'm still trying to teach. And, but based on that, I see the stories that need to be written about those particular, everybody usually has a story, and I call them their Job stories. Because you become an overcomer based on your past. And my teaching, even to them, and I still teach today, is that God doesn't give us the pain for ourselves. He gives you the pain for someone else. You overcome the pain and grow and move on, but so that you can help someone else grow and move on. And that was my message through that. And in order for me to help people to grow and move on, I had to help them write their stories. So that's how the publishing company came. I'll help you write, we do poems, songs, whatever that God has laid upon your heart that is for someone else. And I can tell me, baby, this is just not for you. And I think you talk to people and they're in crippling pain and not able to move forward. that they're stuck in that pain, then we talk about forgiveness basically at that point, or we talk about self-esteem at that point. But okay, so now you know what to do. It's your turn now to go to those God who's assigned to you to help them overcome whatever it is that they're coming. If that's through a book, if that's through public speaking, if that's through whatever that is, then we need to get you to do that.
So I think that's a beautiful story, and I'm glad that you heeded that call. I will also say that you spoke a mighty word just now about the lesson that can exist in our pain and how that lesson is not always for us. And I'm glad that you shared that, because I want kids out there to know that you can be a little person with a whole lot of feelings, a whole lot of very, very big feelings, and you not understand why these are your experiences. But I promise you that there is a reason.
That's always a reason.
Always is. And when you grow up, or even when you get back into regular school, whatever happens on the other side of COVID, I think in hindsight, you will know the reason your pain, and you will understand the lessons. And that's true for some adults too, but I wanted to especially mention that to our youth. So Dr. McLauchlin, thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm so excited to see what you and Haven will be doing. I will be looking for the coloring book, because I am an adult who colors, and I can't even touch the level of just phenomenal work that was done in the book, but I'm going to try my best.
Okay. Well, the book, I mean, the coloring book is exactly like the book. And it should be on Amazon as I said, within the next couple. We just send it back to the illustrator for him to finish up everything that he needed to do with that. So
Wonderful.
It'll be out soon.
Thank you so much for being with us. Adrian's probably going to go buy a t-shirt. I'm probably going to go buy a mask, because I love a mask that people ask me about. So I want to encourage everybody out there again to like and follow Chosen Pen Publishing, to make sure you check out Haven's Facebook page, and to make sure you support the great work that Dr. McLauchlin and Haven McLauchlin are doing. With that being said, next week, May 22nd at 11:30 a.m., we will have Dr. Tracy Nicole Hayes with us, and which ties in perfectly to this conversation that we were just having with Dr. McLauchlin. Many of you may not know that I am a social worker, and that right now is foster care month. And Dr. Hayes wrote about Annie's Hope. That's the name of the book. And it's the story about a child in foster care. And it was specifically published in the month of May to raise awareness about Foster Care Awareness Month. So join us next week to hear from Dr. Hayes, and to also learn more about Annie, the hope that Annie has. And I have a feeling that we will hear some tidbits about love and forgiveness and pain in that book as well. So we look forward to seeing you next week at 11:30 Facebook Live. We'll be talking to Dr. Tracy Nicole Hayes about Annie's Hope. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.